Muddy paws, dirty floors, questionable odors in the air. That's just the norm with being a pet parent, right? Or is it? You know I love my dogs with all my heart. That said, I can sit here and be honest and say that I don't love pet odor. I don't love when my dogs get super dirty. I'm going to be sharing my complete list of hacks and my favorite products to bathe my dogs quickly, efficiently, and safely. And yes, if your dog is struggling with liking to be bathed, I will be sharing 6 hacks on how to bathe the dog that's really nervous of the bath or just really hates it. And then at the end, I'm also going to be talking about my favorite ways to keep my house clean without the use of harmful chemicals or toxins. One of the reasons that dogs struggle, for those that are nervous with being in the bath or just not used to it, is because we do it so infrequently. So I bathe my dogs about every 2 to 3 months, just depending on the time of year, how messy they get. And this can be problemsome because if we're only bathing our dogs 4 to 8 times a year, that means they're not getting a lot of practice. So that leads me into my very first hack, which is probably one of the most important of this entire video, and that is to normalize the bathtub. For example, use the bathroom and even the bathtub when it's dry between baths as a place to feed them. So instead of using their dog bowl and giving it to them in the kitchen or dining room, bring it to the bathroom and set it next to the bathtub. So you start creating a positive association with being in and near the bathtub. Then slowly over time, move the bowl inside the bath without any water, and they can eat their meals in the bathtub when it's dry. So they start associating that, oh, being in here and this different surface and the smell and the sounds, it's really not that bad, and I get food in here. This is really exciting. You can also use a Lick It Buddy. So I have these all linked to my shop page, but they're essentially a lick mat where you can put some of your dog's favorite foods on there or favorite snacks like pumpkin or maybe peanut butter with no sugar, no xylitol, nothing added into it, literally just peanuts. And you can spread it on there, you can even freeze it, and then it will suction to the side of the bathtub so that either while you're giving a bath, they can lick on that and be less nervous, or for some daily enrichment and mental brain games, you can take that Lick It Buddy and you can put it in the bathtub between baths when there's no water, and the dog can lick at it. And then slowly and gradually over time, you can start adding water in small amounts to get them adjusted and used to the water. I really love doing this with puppies because it gets them really excited about bath time faster. You could even just take a cup of water and put it at the bottom of the bathtub while they're eating, and just again slowly get them used to having some water in the bathtub. This is going to help get your dog more excited about it. Now, if you followed me for any length of time, you know I am incredibly picky about the shampoo and conditioners I use my dogs, and I'll share what those are in just a moment. But first, I am a huge fan, and I swear by the suction cup tethers you can get. They're all linked to my shop page below, and this essentially helps keep your dog stable so they're not moving around as much and less likely to slip. And on that note, I do recommend having a bath mat in the bathtub so that when they're in there and standing, they are less likely to fall over and slip as they move around. I'm also a huge fan of the Messy Mutts towel for drying. I actually just got another one, so it's good timing. And the reason I love this one specifically is it has built-in pockets. There's a little tag on here I'll take off, for easy drying. So what that looks like is when you open it up, there's little pockets in here. So you can actually wrap it around the dog and dry. I have it upside down, so you'd be wrapping it around the dog, and then it's easier to grab different parts of the dog and gently dry them. This soaks up water so quickly, helps my dogs dry much faster, machine washable, and it dries really quick when I'm done with it. Now, this also leads me to another product that I probably really couldn't live without because we love doing adventures. Plus, mud is my nemesis, and I feel like I'm always stuck with muddy paws because even if it's raining, I still like to take my dogs out and they get muddy and dirty. So I use the Mud Buster. You guys, I'm sure you've heard of this. Everyone has talked about this because it is that incredible, but they have ones with lids now, and they have all different sizes. And this is so cool because all you do is you fill it up with water and you stick your dog's paw in it, and there's these soft bristles in here that capture the dirt and the mud, so that all you do is you stick their paw in here and it'll actually clean their paws really, really easily. And then I use my Messy Mutts microfiber towel to dry them. This is like a win-win situation without using chemicals or toxins or anything like that. I also want to mention that what you can do is you can take this. I have two. I have one that I'll put a tiny bit of shampoo in. I'll talk about my favorite shampoo in a minute. Just a drop in one with water, and I put my dog's paws in there. Then I have a plain one with just plain water, a second one of these with plain water, and then I use that to rinse the soap off and this to dry it. Night and day. This is linked in my description. I'm telling you guys, like, game changer. There's new colors. It's just a really cool one in different sizes for different size dogs. Okay, I digress. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to keep my dogs clean in between baths, but a couple more bath time tips. One is I take large cotton balls and I like to put it in my dog's ears, not shove it all the way down, but just on the surface so they don't actually accidentally get water in their ears, which can lead to ear infections. I also love getting one of those dangling and removable shower heads so I can bring it down to my dog. Many of you always ask me like what temperature I bathe my dogs at. I personally bathe them at lukewarm. I find that cold water makes them enjoy it less, and obviously I don't want it to be scalding hot. So lukewarm, like what you would give for a young baby in a bath, is what I do for my dogs. And something that I don't really hear a lot of people talk about is make sure your dog's nails are clipped before bath time, because when they have their longer nails, it's harder for them to get a grip even with a bath mat. So I highly, highly recommend that. And on the note of bathing my dogs and keeping my home as clean as possible with as minimal effort as possible, you know that I am the biggest fan of ruggable, washable rugs. In fact, we have 5 in the home right now. That's how much we love them. I mean, yes, we all know they're washable, but beyond that, they are spill and stain resistant. So if my dogs do have an accident, I can easily wipe it up. I don't have to wash it all the time, but I love having that option. They're completely safe for pets, and I love the fact that the tops are interchangeable. So if I want to change the aesthetic, I'm not tied down to one design, so it gives me a lot of flexibility. In addition to that, they are made from 95% recycled material, which is huge. Here's my discount code, and it's linked to my shop page below. I'll share the shampoos I love. There's only 2 brands today. This could change because new brands pop up all the time, but there's only 2 brands today that I truly, truly love and could recommend to anybody and sleep well at night. And that is 4-leggers. And then right now, my favorite and what I'm using is Kin and Kind. This is linked below. They have shampoos, conditioners. Why I love them is they have incredible scents, but it's not too strong to where my dog seems irritated. They're organic, completely and only natural ingredients. And unlike most other shampoos I've ever seen at any of the pet stores you go to today, they don't have any irritating ingredients. A lot of the shampoos and conditioners and pet sprays that you see at the pet store, if you look at their ingredient list, it's insane the stuff that's in there. And a lot of the ingredients are actually known irritants to the dog's skin. Now, they may make the dog's fur really soft for their first few days, or maybe they smell like a special cologne or a dessert. So pet parents like that, but I'm telling you, it's really not ideal for dogs because remember, their skin is their largest organ on their body. And so whatever you put on their coat is going to be absorbed in their body. So for me, I have to have something that's non-GMO, that's made in small batches, that's human grade and super, super healthy, which is why I love this. They're also cruelty-free, vegan, obviously no animal harmed in the making of this. Oh my gosh, before I forget, I just launched by popular demand my holiday gift guide for the pet and pet parent that literally has it all. There are things in this that I promise you've never seen before, so you can check it out after this video, link in my description. Now that we've mastered bath time, I want to share how I help my dogs stay cleaner and smelling fresher for longer, because while we just learned how to make baths more efficient, I still want to extend the time between baths as much as possible because it's a lot of work regardless. And how I keep my home pet odorless and just keep it cleaner more naturally. So the first thing is I do have these baby wipes. Well, they're actually grooming puppy wipes. The reason I love this Pogi brand, which is linked down below, is it is made of 100% bamboo, and there's not a ton of ingredients on the ingredient panel. In fact, you can see it here. The main ingredients that you can see are purified water, aloe vera extract, vitamin E, etc. So it's a very limited ingredient, so it's not adding a bunch of stuff my dog needs. It's fragrant free, which is key. Dogs don't need to smell like vanilla, and these are great to do a quick wipe down the coat just to get some like dander and allergens off of them. As I talked about before, I do use the mud buster. This is also good too, side note, if you have a dog suffering from allergies, a lot of times that presents in their paws. You could actually do an apple cider vinegar rinse in one of these and kind of hold your dog's paw in it if they're like super terrified of the bath. And actually, I did want to show this. I actually just got this. Wasn't sure if I'd like it, and it's proving to be pretty incredible, just as a side note. So it, again, also linked below, but they also make this 2-in-1 treat and water dispenser. So in one side you could put treats, so if you're going on a hike or walking, you put that there, and on the other side it's water, and it's divided by a barrier. You can see that there. So, and it has a water bowl attached. So anyways, I just thought that was cool because we're on the topic of going on adventures. And on another note of adventures, when we think about going outdoors, what I find so fascinating and actually scary, to be honest, is that because most of us spend majority of our time indoors, it's incredibly imperative that we do the best we can to have healthy air indoors, because according to studies done by the EPA, indoor air quality can be as high as 100 times worse than outdoor air quality in terms of pollution. That is mind-blowing, and it is terrifying because we're spending so much of our time, we're sleeping indoors, our dogs are inside, and they're way more sensitive to most pollutants than we are. And that is why I refuse to live without my air doctor. I'm sure you've heard of it. They're like the most popular air filter you can get because they are absolutely affordable for what they do. And I've done so much research on this because I'm actually highly allergic to mold. I've done my allergy test on myself, and my dogs both have very sensitive skin. So especially those of you with allergies or have a lot of odor in your home, or your dogs have sensitive skin. But did you know that most of those surface or floor cleaners that you can get at like your grocery store or your Target or your Walmart, most of them have ingredients that are irritating to our dogs and their skin, as well as toxic and harmful to breathing it in. So for the love of dog and the health of you and your family, please ditch those home cleaners that you see that you can spray, or the Febreze air fresheners, and instead get something that's more natural. The two things that I use to clean my homes, I wish I had multiple homes, but the two things I use to clean my apartment, one is Kind has an awesome home surface and carpet cleaner. It's linked to my shop page. And two, none other, and I'm sure you guys have seen this before because they're so popular, especially in the more holistic and natural world, and that is the Sani True disinfecting spray that is completely rid of any chemicals or toxins. All this uses is water, salt, and vinegar, all ingredients you have at home. So it's literally costs pennies to refill and make it home. And you see it has a little charger here. It just uses electricity to convert those ingredients into a powerful and very effective cleaner. One great way to keep our dogs smelling fresher and our house cleaner and getting rid of odors is to get rid of dust and mold and mildew buildup, and that's a great way to use that. Okay, I still have 4 more things that I use to keep my dogs smelling fresher that actually work and are not harmful. But before that, I want to remind you to wash your dog's food and water bowl every single day, and I have a special tip for that. But first off, I want you to grab your dog's water bowl, and I want you to feel on the inside wall of that water bowl. You're probably going to feel a little bit of a greasy or slimy texture. That's harmful bacteria. We need to clean that out because that can lead to poor health in our dogs, and it can lead to poor breath. So I clean their water bowls every day. That keeps things fresh. I also do not use tap water for my dogs or myself. And the reason being is there are, and this is something you can Google and research on your own, but there are tons of studies that show that tap water can have really harmful and honestly disgusting ingredients in it. So I use a water purifier or a water filter because what this does, I use Aqua. I'm sure you've heard of them. They're, again, probably one of the most popular ones out there that you can ever look into. And they remove the most common toxic ingredients, which can include fluoride, lead, chlorine, nitrates, PFAs, and you go on, things that can lead to cancer. So if you want to have a fresher house and better breath, I highly recommend Aqua. It's incredible. It tastes great. It's a reverse osmosis water purifier system. Between baths, I do not love those standard puppy perfumes or sprays that you can get at the pet stores. Most of them have a lot of stuff in there that can be really bothersome to dogs and their skin, but there is one that I love by Kin & Kind, completely organic, all natural ingredients. I'll have it linked down below. And on that note of smell good, please know that I have videos linked below on this in more detail, but just like the home surface cleaners that have irritating ingredients in them, so do most candles. Yep, those candles that you love, especially during fall time, that smell like pumpkins or Christmas trees or whatever it might be, they unfortunately are packed with fragrant ingredients that are widely known to be irritating to a dog's respiratory system as well as their skin. And this is something you can commonly look up, and it's really unfortunate that something is not talked about more. That said, there are natural candle options. My favorite one is actually also by Kin & Kind. You can find it linked to my shop page below, and it smells wonderful. It's made of completely natural ingredients, and I don't worry about any fumes it's pushing out into my dog's air because it's all natural ingredients. And of course, brushing your dog's teeth every day, which linked below is my DIY at-home toothpaste recipe, which makes your dog's breath so fresh, as well as brushing them. Even if you have a shorter coated dog like my Labrador, brushing them and getting that dead hair off like once a day or once every other day makes a world of difference of keeping the dander level down. So if you have allergies, keeps the odor level down. And of course, cleaning their ears. My favorite cleaning solution for ears is in my shop page as well, is an excellent way to keep odor down and just to keep your dog happier and healthier. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about my favorite healthy toppers for kibble. And click the video right here and we'll jump over there together. Or if you want to see some really fun and easy brain games to help calm and tire your dog faster, click the video right here. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Goodbye.